Hello, I'm Francesca de Gottardo. I'm 37, Italian, and I'm the founder and CEO of Endelea brand. Well, this martini bottle looks great. I come from this area in Italy where we're famous for wine, so it feels just fine to start with a glass of martini. Woo!
That was perfect.
I actually studied sommelier, so I'm a professional wine taster. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really cool. You always do the whole swirl.
Of course, you're supposed to. Like to smell it and then see the alcohol trace and then drink it. It's really nice. So Endelea was started in 2018 as a pilot project. And then we actually registered a company in Italy in 2019 and the company in Tanzania in 2021, at the beginning of 2021. The story of the name, it's quite funny because I wanted something that sounded like Dream On, that had a kind of power of, encouraging people to follow the dreams. And so I had this dictionary, Swahili English, and I was looking for Dream On and I found Endelea Quota. And then the problem was with quota, because in Italian that would sound more like something that accountants say. So I said, okay, let's keep the Endelea, which has a very nice meaning of keep going, like literally, don't stop. And add a payoff in English, that is the Dream Bold. So our actual name is like Endelea Dream Bold, which is a cool bridge between languages and cultures, because this is what we do. And it has a very great meaning in saying like, okay, don't stop dreaming with courage, dreaming big. Well, the name itself is a great motivational for all of us in the team and for all the people we work with here in Tanzania and in Europe, and for our customers as well. Starting up a startup in fashion during a pandemic times and war times requires a lot of courage and requires a lot of passion in order not to quit at some point, because the challenges have been so many, and like most of them I couldn't even imagine them when I started Endelea 3-4 years ago. So the name itself like sums up pretty much everything about what we're doing here in Tanzania, there in Italy, like not stopping and like still sticking to the dream and making it real, like fighting to make it real. And it has also broader meaning because part of our project is to reinvest in non-profit activities here in Tanzania, working with the students of the university, working with other designers, providing skills, bringing here, professors from Italy and professionals from Italy. So it's not only our dream bold, like it's also theirs. So what we're doing is helping also other people achieving their dreams. So I'm really proud of the name and the payoff because it really tells a lot about all we're trying to do right now. Well, the challenges I faced here in Tanzania, especially at the beginning, but even nowadays, are mostly related to cultural differences. If we don't want to talk about the bureaucratical aspects, which are also like pretty much challenging in every country. So Italian side, Tanzanian side are more or less the same, taxes, accountants, legal, like understanding the difference between tier A, umbrella, especially for a foreigner, must be like, it is tough sometimes. But I think that the most interesting challenge, the one that I really take passion in, is the cultural difference. Because we work now with 13 fundi in Magomeni area in Dar es Salaam. And we've been working with around 100 people just for the past year, between fabric sellers in Kariako, photographers, models, makeup artists, creative directors, the Fundi, of course. And so the thing that I see happening all the time is like us as Italians, or mainly me as Italian, trying to set up a dialogue with a Tanzanian person that might or might not have had exposure to the fashion system outside Tanzania, but most time has not. So it's always challenging at the beginning to set, the conversation in a way that requires a dialogue. So more times Tanzanians are very nice and pleasant, and they don't want you to be disappointed, so they can end up not saying things, like not giving you the real feedback on what is doable and what not. So the most rewarding thing is being able in the long term to have like meaningful dialogues in which I'm also learning. So I try not to put myself in the position of the one who's teaching, but it's like, okay, you tell me like how would you do it, and I will tell you how would I do it, and then we find together a solution. So also facing problems can be challenging, because most people here will feel like it's bad that we have a problem, but like the real success of Endelea is that after 2-3 years of working together, we're creating a team in which there's a real sense of belonging and of being part of something different, in which everyone is now starting to contribute also in a critical way, like saying, okay, Francesca, I think this thing doesn't work. That's great, like having this kind of relationship in which we feel safe, and it's a bridge. So I walk half of it and you walk the other half of it, and that walk can be challenging, because also for them, I mean, who's this Zungu who's telling me like that issues are fine, that mistakes are okay? But then the walk, like when you meet in the center and you build something new and something magical, it's really rewarding. So it's a challenge that I like.
Yeah.
Bureaucratical ones, not really.
Yeah, let's not even.
Yeah.
I love that. That's really cool.
If I think back of all things and moments that I lived in the past 4 years with Endelea, there's plenty of them. But the most relevant, like the one that still sticks with me, was the first time that I saw a model wearing one of our clothes. It was the first time I did anything like that. I'm not a designer and I come from fashion, but in communication. So it was for me a learning by doing process the whole time. I learned what a pattern was. I learned how to cut them. I was here on the floor among chickens, fixing the patterns. And then I was here like finding the fabrics at Kariako, with the mess and everything. And I was here with the tailors, dealing with all the mistakes, fix this, fix that. And the whole journey, led me to that point in which I had shipped the sample set to Italy. And I stayed here in order to follow the production. And it was a Saturday, and I took my first day off, and I was, at the salon getting my nails done, and someone from Italy sent me a picture because they were shooting the e-commerce images in Milan, and I saw this picture of this complete stranger, beautiful, wearing, one of the clothes that I actually made. Like every single part of that cloth was me. And I started crying in the middle of the salon with all the ladies there telling me, is everything okay?
Yeah.
And I said, like, it's very okay. Like, you cannot even imagine how okay this is.
Yeah.
Like, this is the start. That's when I really understood, like, this is real. Like, we're doing this for real. I think sustainable fashion is growing. It has been there for 10 years more or less now, but at first it was just among professionals in the field and among customers that were really, really driven into investigating more about the clothes they were wearing, and it was a very niche market, but niche market. Then COVID hit, with all, of course, the negative sides of it, but in a good sense, it brought up more awareness towards the people that work in the environment, in the ecosystem of fashion. because all the big brands had to cancel collections, and millions of people lost their jobs in Bangladesh, in India, in China. And so it was the first time that we actually heard a real conversation going on major media channels about fashion and the impact of fashion. And I think sustainability in fashion is, part of a much bigger and broader movement towards awareness on where we are right now in history, the damage we created to the planet, climate change, but also the damage we're creating to our fellow human beings who are producing our clothes, in the specific case of fashion, on the other side of the world. And so people at least are starting thinking, if my t-shirt costs $5, how much was the worker who created it actually paid for this t-shirt, So I think it's growing, there's more interest, which is an amazing thing. And I really wish for fashion to be only sustainable in 10 years from now, that there won't be any other way to do things in fashion, but also, in design, in food, in everything we do. The other thing is that it's becoming a marketing thing. A lot of big brands are leveraging the I reuse, I recycle polyester kind of card, and are tricking customers into thinking that recycling part of your materials is sustainability 100%, and still they're selling the t-shirts for $5 now. So fast fashion is still there. It's a huge monster that we have to fight. So 50-50 chances that things will actually go in a good way. But I'm an optimistic person, so I hope that eventually small projects like mine will really succeed in changing, the mindset of customers. Because actually, ultimately, the change can come only from you guys, from the customers. We are doing our best to change the paradigm, but you are the one who make the market go. So please, think about what you're buying.